Some people don't lose credibility because they're wrong, they're actually losing it because they're just too convincing. Mainly because modern life nowadays is rewarding the performance of knowing something, which is seductive, but in reality it's just a mind wrapped in vocabulary or a voice wrapped in certainty. This gap is called information overconfidence. You need to remember that when somebody sounds certain, it doesn't mean they know what they're talking about. Let's break it down. So let us imagine our protagonist and call him Odysseus. He's competent, he's looking for power, but he's not begging for it. What does he do? He starts to consume information like oxygen. Podcast summaries, key headlines, you name it, he's doing it. After a while, he starts to talk about psychology, market, finance, technology. He sounds really intelligent. And this right here is the modern seduction, the illusion that proximity equals comprehension. One must imagine Odysseus to be quite happy and satisfied with his newfound intelligence until he enters the room. Somebody tells him, "Okay, why do you have that opinion? Can you explain it?" He feels offended and he takes that for hostility.
Can you explain that point more, please?
What's there to explain? It's perfectly clear.
And nowadays, it is really common to kind of mistake precision for hostility. When somebody says that, it doesn't mean they're disrespecting you or your idea. They just want to know where you're coming from. This is where the enemy reveals itself. The enemy is subtle because it's hiding inside what seems like competence. And it's not ignorance either, because at least that would be honest. Information overconfidence is a polished surface masquerading as a foundation. It's a feeling of knowing without actually having the basis of knowledge. As a result, Odysseus is going to experience something humiliating. He's not just losing the argument, he's losing his status signal. High-level rooms care about clarity and mechanism.
弱連ウイケラこのよしありおります。切り道運返しますたらもせ。
Here's the twist. When people are overconfident, they're gonna start speaking too early. They're gonna say stuff like, "This is obvious, this is what's happening." They're gonna get rid of the nuances because to them, nuances feel like a weakness. As a result, people are gonna punish you quietly and not loudly, which means fewer follow-up questions, less eye contact, less trust. The most dangerous part is your ego is gonna see that as resistance and not feedback. So you're gonna double down. When people stop questioning you, it can mean they do trust you, or it can mean they've given up on you. So here's the reveal, and it is going to sting a little bit. Most adults are living in a psychological bluff. They routinely overestimate how well they understand complex mechanisms and topics till they're actually forced to explain them. The real test of intelligence is not hiding behind big words or complex vocabulary, it is adjusting to your demographic and audience, explaining the same complex topic and mechanism in simple and understandable words. The ego prefers performance to precision. So ask yourself, can I talk about this in front of anyone for more than 15 or 20 minutes? Then you find out if you were working on building mastery or building an identity. So now here comes a deeper cut. Overconfidence isn't just believing that you're way better. Overconfidence comes in multiple forms, and overprecision is the most seductive one. Overprecision is being too certain that your judgment is correct. It is seductive because it sounds like authority and power. People often say things like, "This is true, this is the reality, trust me, there is no other explanation." But a high caliber mind doesn't need absolute certainty to demonstrate their power. It needs calibrated language because it's loyal to precision and not the image. That's why the most reliable people ever, they don't sound too dramatic, they perform reasoning. Real authority is the ability to remain precise when it would be much easier to be dramatic. This is exactly why information overconfidence is so trendy yet controversial at the same time. Modern life is manufacturing it. Welcome to the party. Algorithms are rewarding strong opinions while punishing nuances and detail at the same time. As a result, you have people coming up with conclusions that are really solid, but they have no foundation and no substance. There is a new hierarchy being created. Fastest performers are rising while the smartest are being left behind, till they're forced to explain it. Okay, so as we kind of get closer to wrapping up this video, I just want to emphasize that the goal is not to become less confident. The goal is to become unfakeable. How you can do that? You need to have a structure and a foundation that you can rely on whenever you are in a meeting, negotiation, or just talking with someone who knows what they're talking about. If you're curious about the topic, pick up a book, listen to a podcast, consume any type of information that you like to consume. Don't rely on short form videos, headlines, or summaries to give you a comprehensive understanding about the mechanism or the complexity of the topic. Do your own research, listen to the proponents, listen to the opponents, and then gather your own thoughts. You need to have your own understanding. You need to have a foundation that helps you evaluate what is right, what is wrong. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, I don't know, do anything that you want to do. Maybe check out our website. Stay tuned for the next video. I think it'll drop next Friday or the Friday after that, but I'll be back. See you guys.